You find me in Paris and with Citizen of all brands. What is Citizen, the famous Japanese brand, doing here in the French capital, you may ask? Well, they've brought me here because they have a travelling exhibition on. Now, this travelling exhibition is celebrating an important anniversary for the brand, and that is 55 years of the use of titanium, which is, I think, the most unsung metal in the watchmaking world. Now, these guys were the first to do it, and I think they are probably one of the best to still do it.
In the City of Light, we are checking out some of the lightest watches around. A 55-year journey that takes in the birth of space travel, cutting-edge material development, and a continuous push for innovation from Citizen. This exhibition, aptly titled Super Titanium: The Beauty of Time, lays out the brand's journey with this material that has seen it at the forefront of the industry. After extensive research and development, Citizen released the world's first titanium watch, the X8 Chronometer. In 1970, just 1 year after the space-age material had been of vital importance in the Apollo 11 mission to the moon. Not happy with just managing to build a case, Citizen next had to master the look of this new material when it was on the wrist. Enter the Atessa. This is where Citizen shows a real commitment to finishing titanium to the same level as we have seen in steel watches previously. Even today, the Atessa series represents the brand's pinnacle of super titanium.
When you were developing titanium at Citizen, were you purposefully trying to make it look like a different metal to stainless steel?
ですね、現在は there's a bit of a history of refining the shape with the aim of making it look more like stainless steel. So that's the path we've taken. Over time, you see, titanium is notoriously difficult to work with, and there are certain design limitations, but thanks to the accumulation of know-how over the years, we can now machine it to a quality on par with stainless steel.
Could you explain a little more why titanium is so hard to work with?
そうですね。what we call the triple whammy of machining difficulties. It's an extremely tough material to work with, and the first hurdle is the pressing stage. Shaping a solid bar of material into the rough form of a case is extremely challenging, and the subsequent cutting process is also very difficult. Finally, the polishing stage is actually the hardest of all, whether it's getting a mirror finish or a hairline finish, that kind of polishing work. And knowing when to use each is still a really tricky challenge even now. By tackling all of these tough challenges with Citizen's own unique approach, we've now reached a point where we can create watches that are far more intricate and beautiful than ever before.
From this point on, Citizen would continue to develop and refine its lightweight offering, with next being the development of that super titanium, a Citizen proprietary material that is strengthened with Duratec surface hardening technology. This would open up an entire new world of possibilities for Citizen. Not only were they able to make titanium tougher and more scratch resistant now, but they could offer it in a whole spectrum of colours. Perhaps the most noteworthy of these is the combination of Duratec and DLC coatings, which created the toughest versions of titanium yet, the aforementioned Super Titanium, which is 5 times harder and 40% lighter than stainless steel. Finally, we come to the most creative and colourful side of this titanium tale, and that's the latest evolution, Amber Yellow.
Talk me through the development process of your new Duratec Amber Yellow. So talk me through how you got to this new colour for Duratec.
Right, so generally speaking, I first wanted to tackle the issues with gold, and there are basically 3 main problems. The first is that precious metals wear down very easily. So with regular use, they tend to pick up quite a lot of scratches. The other issue was the color. It's quite flashy, you could say, very showy, which means there are only certain occasions where it really works. Plus, depending on someone's skin tone, it could be a bit tricky to match. The last point is actually the biggest issue, and to tone down the typical gold color to make it look paler. People often use a material called nickel, but nickel is one of the most common causes of metal allergies. So if someone has sensitive skin, they simply can't wear it, which was a major problem we were facing. That's where we've managed to make it nickel-free. They adjust the color by using a metal called niobium instead of nickel. We've managed to create duotech that are considerate of people with metal allergies.
This is a truly next-gen version of gold plating. 10 to 20 times harder than traditional gold plating, it has been developed to stay on longer and be completely hypoallergenic, with no trace of a metal that could cause a reaction. The shade of this surface treatment has been specifically developed to stand out next to both solid gold and old school plating. It's not trying to be either, but it's carving its own path. Much how Citizen has with its pioneering use of titanium for the last 55 years. It has taken a material previously only used in the most technological fields and turned it into a darling of the watch industry. We have a lot to thank Citizen for, and it seems like they are only getting started when it comes to their development of this space-age material.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the Time+Tide YouTube channel to never miss another video just like this one.